Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in September 2019. Hello, Aquarius. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Look at me getting stuck up here, getting all caught up with the cards. Crazy. Anyway, Aquarius, what's going on? How are you? Hope you're well, as I just said. Repeating myself. Aquarius, I need to give you a slight apology here. For the lateness of this reading. I intended to film this 2 days ago on Friday. What was Friday's date? The 6th? Something like that, I think. I'm terrible at dates, guys. Unless I'm like staring at a computer monitor at work, I have no idea what the date is. The day of the week, I got it, but the date, no way. Anyway, I intended to upload this on Friday, but as I told Capricorn and Sagittarius, I was in the hospital. Thursday, I had to admit myself to the ER. I wasn't feeling well. They put me in for an overnight stay, and I remained there until early evening on Friday. And so I just got released, until early evening Friday. I rested on Saturday. So I'm filming and uploading this on Sunday. So apologies for how late it was. This is a lot. I'm not going to read it, but if you want to know what's here, you have the King of Swords, Page of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and the Strength card. Not going to read any of that because I wasn't really thinking of anything, wasn't really totally connected to your energy, but maybe some of that means something to you guys. And I had that happen for Capricorn, I think. I was doing the intro and like half of it, well not half, but a fair amount of cards fell out. And I was just like, there's no way I'm going to read that. So same deal, not going to read that. Anyway, Aquarius, I've shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can look in the description box below for the timestamp if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have a question before you place or email me for a reading, you can always give me a qualifying question or a question of clarity, and I will answer you as soon as I can, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. Please show me Aquarius's outcome for September 2019. September 2019 outcome for Aquarius, please show me. Wow, everything came face up. So when that happens, I think we're talking about getting real and getting clear with people. He came in the fall, right? In that flop of cards that fell to the floor, right? So somebody wanted to come back out. Somebody wanted to be noticed. So maybe that means something in your life. Maybe somebody wants to be noticed. Maybe somebody wants to come back around, something like that. But I don't know for sure. We'll figure it out, though, as we go, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. Please show me where Aquarius is in September 2019. Please show me Aquarius in September 2019. Please show me. One more time, please. Okay. Yeah, it was like mostly in the spot that I'm going to start in, but then it went away, but then it came back. So isn't that what I just said? When it something about coming back? Maybe that means something to some of you. Anyway, where you start off, Aquarius, in your reading, you start off with the King of Wands. Okay, so fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You might be dealing with one of those signs, but you don't have to be. Considering the question is always, where does blank sign start? I'm going to assume you embody part of this energy. You might share it with someone else, but you don't have to. Oh boy. So really in a place of power. Yeah. With the King of Wands. All the kings have a certain amount of power, right? A certain amount of accomplishment, a certain amount of gravitas to them. So Aquarius, you've been through the trials, you've been through the tribulations, you've gone through the gauntlet, whatever I'm talking about. I have no idea just yet what I'm talking about. But you have certainly been through something, like I said, accomplished something. I feel you may have acquired something. But you're in a position where now I think you're able to decide, to choose, to move, to not move, to go left, to go right, do whatever you want. You know, there's a lot of ownness with the kings, right? Not especially the King of Wands, but all the kings have ownness, right? where the responsibility and the autonomy is definitely on their shoulders. Nobody ever tells the king what to do, right? And I'm saying the king, and I'll say he, you know, no gender in a general, guys. So this could be you and you're a female Aquarius. It does not matter. The point is the energy that the card embodies, right? Or the energy that the card brings forth to the reading, yeah? And so what's being brought forth is a very boss energy. And I didn't say it like I normally say, like boss. Like normally I say boss. Like, no, this is boss. Like there's no flair about it. There's no tongue-in-cheek about it. There's no showiness about this boss attitude or this boss position that you're in. I think that you're in a no-nonsense kind of mood. The King of Wands can be playful. He can be kind of amorous. He can be all kinds of life of the party kind of thing. But I'm just like, he's that more, this King of Wands is showing up to be a little bit more sullen, a little bit more quiet, a little more pensive. And I think it's coming from what I was saying. You've been through something. I don't know how recent that's going to fall in your life. It could have happened yesterday. It could have happened 20 years ago. I don't know. But you've been through something, Aquarius, and you've cut your teeth on that experience. You've gained a lot of knowledge. You've gained a lot of worldview or understanding of something. Yeah, you've been through some hard shit that has taught you some lessons, given you a couple of bumps and bruises along the way. And so it's like scar tissue. You know what I mean? This King of Wands to me is coming. Yes, thank you. They're like showing me like, what is that? Like King Arthur? Right? Isn't it King Arthur? It's one of those like old medieval tales where, you know, a king or someone who becomes king does so after fighting in a war. Does so after being in the beast or the belly of the beast, right? Someone who has gone through trials and tribulations on the other side of all that drama elevates themselves, increases their status, moves up to a certain plateau, or in this case, a certain throne, a certain position in their life from which they can now rest. The kings are not super active, right? Save that business for the pages and the knights, yeah? So the king is not really active. So some of you may have had a busy summer, right? We're at the tail end of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. So some of you have been throwing yourselves at something, or you were in some type of war. Maybe you literally are a serviceman or a servicewoman, you know, and you're out there being, you know, on deployment. Now that you've come home and you've seen a thing or two, you've been through a certain experience, you're at a elevated level from which you are now choosing what happens next in your life, specifically in your life, okay? That has been thematic, I feel, for many of these September readings, where it's about the focus is on the self, the focus is on what the individual needs and wants for their life, and kind of prioritizing that, you know, almost to the detriment of other relationships, okay? And I'm not sure if that's going to play out entirely for your reading, Aquarius. I'm not sensing it just yet, but it certainly is a lot of personal ownership, personal responsibility, personal obligations, and that is at the forefront of what you are bringing to every situation. If you're at a deciding point in your life or a pivotal turning point in your life, Aquarius, it is what is best for me. No offense to anybody else, but it's got to work for me or it doesn't work at all. And again, I don't think it's coming from a place of like tyranny. I don't think this is coming from a place of fear or like needing to control a situation. It's coming from a place of, I've been through some drama. I've been through some trials and tribulations. I have gone through the gamut of something. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going straight into every endeavor I have for my life, straight up. Cards on the table. You know, this king, especially for you now in the upright position, is not here to play games, does not suffer fools, is not interested in the folly of a situation. Can still have a good time, but underneath having a good time with other people, friends, family, what have you, there's still this undercurrent from this person's energy, from your energy most likely, Aquarius, that says, I'm not about that bullshit. So yeah, we can have fun, but you know, don't think that XYZ is happening here. So there's also like a caution here, again, because this person has been through something. You've been through something, Aquarius, that where you have learned a lesson. Maybe you were made a fool of previously. Maybe you were taken advantage of previously. Maybe you lost something in, you know, again, at this thing that happened before now. I think there's a significant event that has happened before now where it's almost like night and day. Who you were back then, whether that was yesterday or 20 years ago, is not who you are today and not who you plan or intend to be going forward. And so that's where you can have fun, but not about no BS. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So now, yes, thank you. So you're in this position of calling the shots, especially if it involves what you intend to do, what you can do, what you will put into a situation, what you will not put into a situation. You're not being swayed. Nobody is swaying you. That's interesting. I put the crystal in my left hand. I don't normally do that. So I'm going to put it back in my right because that's strange. That was a fairly long time to hold that in my left hand. That's really weird. Anyway, so you're in this position to call the shots as far as you're concerned, as far as what you will and will not participate in, what you will and will not put your energy into, okay? And that's exactly what you want it to be, okay? That's exactly what you want. Maybe even exactly what you need. Maybe some of you previous to this point have defaulted or kind of given away your decision-making skills or given away your spot at the table if this is about communal decisions within work or family or friendship circles or even just between you and a partner. Maybe you've always defaulted to what other people want, and that's not the case anymore, yeah? Beneath your starting position, at the foundation of it, at the root of it, is the Two of Wands, okay? So we are deciding, we are making plans for the future. We are driving this car. We are steering this ship, okay? So, and I don't want to say it's monumental because I don't think you're viewing it that way. I think you're viewing it, other people might view it monumentally. Other people might view this as, you know, like I said, sort of night and day energy. But the transition between then and now for you, Aquarius, as the person primarily living through it, it makes total sense. It's gradual in a certain way, or if not gradual, it's like a certain evolution has happened that you can mark the changes within yourself, the way you changed the way you thought, you changed the way you felt, or certain things happened that made you change how you thought or felt about a situation. And you can go back over the past few days, weeks, months, years, and you can see the gradual progress. But if someone knew you 5 years ago, and then they happen to come back into your life today, they would not see the same person. And it would be very stark to them. It would be very drastic. To you, it's like, no, this totally makes sense. So there's a slight discrepancy there between what you perceive and what other people around you perceive, Aquarius. It makes sense to you. It's been this thing that has slowly been cranking up, or slowly been, you know, the tides have slowly changed. The trajectory or the path that you're walking on has slowly moved a little bit to the left. And now it's over here. Whereas before, maybe it was like right down the middle. Now we slowly merged into the left lane, and now we're over here. But to other people, it's like, zoop, zoop. So that's just what I feel. Other people are like, what are you doing? Or how come you're doing that? And you're just like, what are you talking about? This has been going on. So maybe the point that you've come to with the King of Wands, I mean, I don't know why I have to harp on this, because we've moved on from that and we're on the Two of Wands. I think because, okay, thank you. Going back to monumental, that's why. Because for you, it doesn't feel monumental. It doesn't feel like this is out of nowhere. This doesn't feel out of pocket to you. Other people around you are getting whiplash looking at how you've changed direction on them. And they're like, huh? They're very confused. Some of them are really distraught. Some of them are upset. Some of them are sad. Some of them are shocked, whatever. It's monumental to other people. To you, this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to put myself in the driver's seat of my own life, or I wanted to put myself in the driver's seat of this specific situation, this specific circumstance. I wanted to start having a say in what goes on around here, especially when it comes to what you can and will not contribute to a situation. The King of Wands, any of the kings, will not be bothered with shit that is beneath them, so to speak, right? If it's not worth their time, they will not invest. If it's not worth their effort, they will not give it. So some of you are pulling yourselves back from being so open and available to people when previously you were very open and available to them. Yeah. Self-preservation with that King of Wands. And standing as a solo figure, right? Even if you're making decisions within a family or a friendship circle or in business, whatever it is, where other people are involved, other people do matter, other people are a factor, you are by yourself in this Two of Wands. You might consider other people, you might be aware of other people and how they're affected, but ultimately, almost selfishly, you don't care what is going on with them. I have to do this for me. Okay, that has been very thematic, like I said, of many of the September readings. Okay, anything else here? Right, so with the world, of course, you know, that little round thing under his arm is in the shape of the world, right? So some of you, this might involve travel. This might involve moving. You know, if you're in a family situation, maybe you're single within a family. Like say you have brothers and sisters, they're married and they've got kids, or your parents are settled in Des Moines and you've been living in Des Moines for the past 20 years and you're like, you know what? It's time for me to move. I'm going to move to Argentina. And that is wild to other people. They're like, what? Argentina? What? Where are you? Why? And you're like, just because I want to, or just because there's more opportunities there based on what I do for a living, based on what I want to do for a living, based on I'm just drawn to the landscape and the mountain ranges down there, and I'm so ready to go, you know, and I've been studying the language, or I've always wanted to live abroad and teach abroad, do whatever. And other people are just like, out of nowhere, Aquarius, why are you doing this? And you're just like, it's not out of nowhere, guys. I really have been thinking and working on this for a long time. Now, if you haven't been expressing that to people, sorry, I'm going to get a drink of water. If you haven't been telling people that you've been planning a change, then yeah, it would make sense that they're kind of shocked. But if you haven't been telling people outright, it feels like you've been dropping hints. You've been planting clues. You have been leaving little breadcrumb trails that people could see. So if people are shocked by you saying, oh, I'm going to move down to Argentina, you're kind of like, why would you be shocked? I started taking classes online. I have a pen pal. I have somebody that I Skype with, and we're speaking a different language than English. You have seen me take a call from that person, and we're not speaking English. It would make sense that I am planning to do something in Argentina, right? So for you, Aquarius, you have, if you haven't told them straight up, you've telegraphed this play. You have shown indications that I'm about to do this. I'm about to make this change in my life. I'm about to walk down this different path. Whether they're allowed to come with you or you want them along with you, or if they're just meant to, you know, wish you a bon voyage, whatever. There's someone here, one person, but I feel it's mostly a group, like friends and family is what it feels like, who are just like, oh, Aquarius, what, how come? And and they're like really bewildered. And you're just like, come on, guys. I've been showing you or telling you this is what I want to do. And now that the time has come that I'm going to make this move, people are kind of up in arms about it. Or they're like, well, wait, how, well, when? And you're like, 2 weeks from now. Oh, 2 weeks, come on. That's so sudden. And you're like, I've been planning this for 2 years. Why would it be sudden if I told you 2 years ago I was going to do this come September or October 2019 or whatever, whenever you're doing whatever you're planning to do, right? So it's kind of like, I've already told you. Why are you surprised? And you're not here for it. The King of Wands is not going to be here for that bullshit. Or this whining, or this, oh, how could you do this, Aquarius? Or, well, wait, because that's your timeline. That's your timeline. I've told you previous. 2 years ago, I told you. Time is running out. If you want, see, okay. It feels like somebody wanted to accomplish something with you, or wanted something to unfold between the two of you, or wanted to get to a certain place with you, Aquarius. Friend, family, lovers, I don't know what this is, but you cannot stop your timeline because they didn't do what they needed to do on their side of things. So what am I getting? I'm getting like a didn't I mention that with that card coming out? This revolving door kind of thing. This person who might be in and out of your life, or this person that goes away for a long time and then they come back. And now that they're coming back, they're saying, hey, Aquarius, I'm available. Let's go ahead and get together. Let's be friends. Let's be lovers. Let's rekindle, or let's, what do you call that? Reconcile our differences here, right? And you're just like, no. And they're, huh? Why not? Because I told you previously, 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 5 days ago, however long it was, I have told you by this date, by this certain time in my life, I'm going to be over here doing this. And it does not include you necessarily. And they're like, but I'm back now and I'm available, or I'm ready to work on this, or I'm ready to reconcile this, or I'm ready. And it's like, that's convenient to your timeline, not convenient to mine. My timeline is no longer available for that. And they're just like, well, what, where? And it's just like, c'est la vie, buddy, c'est la vie. Now, exactly, because you're, yes, that is exactly what you're doing. You're not resting on this, and you're being very honest about it. You're going to have like a little snake, I think, is what you're having. Little snake trajectory here, because previous to now, I feel you were in the Four of Swords in the upright. It's come now in the reverse for you. I'll show it to you upright just so you can see it. Right? But it's come in this reverse position because I think you're no longer waiting idly by for a person, or you're no longer sitting on your hands. You're no longer resting on your laurels. You're no longer inactive. When we're in the Four of Swords in the upright, it shows inaction, shows a rest period, right? Look at this guy just popped up on that sofa right there, yeah? So it shows meaningful rest, or conscious rest, purposeful rest, effective rest, whatever. I don't necessarily think this is about resting. I think this is, after you've rested, it's time to take action. It's time to get moving. It's time to, you know, put wheels to pavement and make this car travel down the highway. Some of you literally were resting or waiting and needing to save money for a car. Now that you have one, you can leave hometown. You can move away from your parents' house. You can get away from these old relationships that, and I'm not trying to bag your hometown or bag people that you knew from your past, but I feel really, Aquarius, you are very focused on evolution, or somehow raising the bar or raising your status in some form or fashion. And you feel you can't do it where you are, whether that's in the physical world, you can't do it where you live currently, or you can't do it by associating with the same types of people, okay? So it'll go either way. It'll go in, I'm changing my environment, I'm changing the people and the places that I stay around, or I'm changing the types of people that I stay around. You might remain friends with people, you know, your old college buddy, your old, you know, best friend from high school, whatever it is. Not that you're writing these people off, but you're certainly more interested in getting around people who share your sensibilities, whatever they are that you've cultivated here previously, that you've been working on with the King of Wands, yeah? So now you're making choices. So let's say, that as an example, this is your new normal. Watching tarot readings on YouTube, or getting into metaphysics, or getting into spirituality. And in your hometown, where you're from, you know, it's like Orthodox Judaism, yeah? Now, I'm no expert on any religion, okay? Especially not Judaism. But let's just say there's no room for this in those Orthodox spaces. If that's the case, and you know you're going to get on this new pathway, right? That means you probably will not be able to associate with people that you used to know as much as you used to associate with them. Not to write them off, not to say you can't be friends, not to say you can't be decent and civil towards each other, but there will be a parting of ways, a divergence of energy, a divergence of interests, a divergence of social interaction. You know, I'm not an authority on Judaism or any religion, but there is this feeling of almost breaking away from tradition, or breaking away from what was predictable, what was known to be the end all be all rhythm and rhyme of your life. In some cases, like I said, that is just leaving your hometown, moving to a foreign country, moving to another state, moving to wherever, and just diving deep into something you've never experienced before, yeah? And you're resolute with that, you know? You're so ready. Also, with the Four of Swords coming in reverse, you're so ready. This is more energetic when it's in the reverse for me. I feel there's an anticipation. So again, you're telling somebody, oh, I fly out to South America in 3 weeks. And they're just like, but wait, I wanted to plan a party for you. Well, I told you 5 months ago, this is what I was going to do. And if 5 months, you can't plan a goodbye party for me, I'm not going to stop because you want to plan a party for me. Like, thank you for the gesture. Thank you for thinking of me in those ways, but I'm not going to stop. You can't stop this train. That's it. You just cannot. Whatever Aquarius is working on, in case you're a cross watcher for Aquarius, they cannot stop what they're doing. They will not stop what they're doing, and they shouldn't, I don't think. Because again, from the energy that I'm associating heavily with the Aquariuses that will resonate with this message, you have been working up to this point. You have been building it, you have been planning it, whether other people knew of it or not. So your preparation for this is overextended already. You've been ready like 2 weeks ago, 4 months ago. Like, when you thought of the idea, you were probably ready. But because of life, because of money, because of responsibilities and obligations and all that kind of stuff, you couldn't just pick up and leave the day you decided, you know what, I think I want to live in South America. I think I want to live in Argentina. You just can't do it that day. Okay? So you're a fixed sign, so it will take you a minute. But that's the thing, for those who are kind of unaware, fixed signs, okay, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, once a fixed sign has decided, that's it. Dog with a bone, that's it. It takes them a while to get there, especially if they choose. If they're choosing to change something, it takes a while because I want to get all my ducks in a row. I want to make sure that I'm making the quote unquote right decision, okay? I don't want to do things haphazardly because fixed signs tend to be, not always, but tend to have a certain nobility about them, dignity, okay? And they want to be seen as responsible. They want to be seen as being able to take care of business and take care of the bottom line. They're the support system, really, of the three qualities, right? You've got mutable, or excuse me, you've got cardinal, fixed, and mutable, right? Of the three, the fixed sign is in the middle, able to carry the load, yeah? So now that you've decided and you've given people a set date that this is when the change happens, this is when the move happens, this is when whatever is happening will happen, and other people are not jazzed about that date, fuck them, is basically how you feel. Maybe not as rude or dismissive as that phrase would entail, but certainly, I don't know what to tell you, Bob. I gave you plenty of time to get whatever you wanted to get out of this situation keyed up and ready to go. But you sat on it, you procrastinated, or you thought I wasn't serious. In some of your cases, people don't think you were serious about what you plan to do, Aquarius. And you're like, I meant it. I meant it. And people are just like gobsmacked. They're just like, oh, you really meant, yes, I meant it. And that's the other thing, going back to the qualities, okay? Fixed signs are serious. Again, do you know a Taurus, a Leo, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius that to some degree about something in their life isn't serious? Most of the time, they're very serious. So in this situation where you plan to change something at a certain date or at a certain time, or you plan to get yourself into a whole new set of circumstances in your life, a whole new setting, and other people thought you were playing, you were not. You were not. And you will tell them, I'm not playing, buddy. I'm not joking around. This is serious to me. So, Queen of Swords energy right above that, no longer resting, no longer on the sideline, energy of the Four of Swords in reverse. You have the Queen of Swords, okay? Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You may or may not be dealing with another air sign, but you don't have to be. Listen, these two, not that they're a match, but this fire sign quality matched with your home base energy of air. Two dynamic elements, fire and air, right? The most dynamic. The two most dynamic. They move the fastest. Air moves faster than fire, but fire is a close second, okay? So, and it builds. It churns. It whips it up. This in combination is like, oh, I wish you could see it. It's not like a tornado. Well, I guess it is like a tornado. But I'm seeing, oh God, that's what I'm seeing. Thank you. I think that's what I'm seeing. And this is going to be a weird reference because I don't think it has much to do with it. But there's a scene in the Ten Commandments, okay? I think it is in the Ten Commandments where Moses goes up to the mountain and he first encounters the burning bush. And the burning bush does like this swirling motion, like a, and it builds up, and then it like strikes the tablets, and all the 10 commandments get written there on the tablets. Like, that's what I'm seeing. So this has been building in you, this desire for whatever you're doing, churning and building and just growing, expanding, right? And that's probably what your biggest motivation is: growth, expansion, increasing. Yeah? No offense to Des Moines, but it's no Argentina. You see what I mean? No knock on the culture and the lifestyle of anybody living in Des Moines. But if you have bigger goals, bigger ideas of your life, you will not stay where you are. If you want to teach across the seas, or if you want to teach whatever you want to do, and if you decide, Aquarius, that Argentina or Spain or Nigeria or wherever in the world is the ample place for you to do that, these two come together and they make it happen. So you have the resolution with the King of Wands, right? Who has done the legwork here. He's really done the legwork. That's why he's sitting and he's resting, right? He's done all that legwork. He's gone through the trials and the tribulations, like I mentioned before. So you may have been working in industries that, you know, didn't really jive with you, didn't really inspire you, right? You could have been working jobs simply for money. So maybe you were saving, right, in order to kind of build towards this trip. All that tedious physical stuff has been done by the King of Wands. The Queen of Swords comes along, as you can see with the silhouette there. She's had more of a hand in the plotting and the planning for the future, for the next step. He's had the vision for the next step. She's going to execute the vision of the future in the next step, okay? Like what I see there, silhouette, like maybe she's sitting in front of a computer or a laptop. She's got a pen or a pen there in her hand. She's writing stuff down. She's taking notes. She's plotting a schedule out. So this is that, again, in combination, stirring of the pot. Not in a, you know, dramatic way, but a stirring up, like a cauldron. Like, things are really getting whipped up with these two energies. I really feel this is all you. I feel other people are here, but the emphasis is you, Aquarius. You. This is all about you. Now, additional to the Queen of Swords is, you see how the king is holding his staff or his wand, right? It's right there next to him. I believe he would be holding it, given the silhouette. It looks like he's holding it. The Queen of Swords, interestingly, this queen, unlike other queens that are depicted in the tarot, her sword is way off to the side there. She's not even like taking that thing up. So you're not willing to fight. If people are protesting, if people are showing that they don't like what you're doing, or and it doesn't have to be they don't like it. They could be worried for you. They could be like concerned about, oh, Aquarius, living abroad in a whole new country. What if this happens? What if, they could have anxieties for you. You're not engaging in any of that. Your mind is made up. You're already plotting your future. You're already, typing up itineraries of your arrival day. You're talking with your new bosses down there, or maybe you're doing freelance work or whatever you're doing. You're just already there. You're projecting yourself already in that other location, or in this other social circumstance. You're no longer where you used to be in your mind. In your mind. That's why you're not going to fight people. That's why you're not going to basically indulge anyone with their worries or concerns or with their protested energy. It's just like, okay, that's how you feel. You're worried about me. Thank you. I appreciate you being worried about me, but I think I'm going to be okay. I'm willing to take this risk. Other people are protesting. You can't do that. How could you leave us? Or how could you leave the family? Or how could you leave your friends? And, well, if you're going, don't expect me to be waiting for you. Okay, fine. It's fine. Thank you. I understand. You're being really gracious, if I'm honest. And not to say that you wouldn't be normally, but I think people are trying to egg you, goat you, right? Or get your goat, goad you, get your goat. I think people are trying to not get you to fight, but certainly get a reaction out of you that says, okay, fine, I'll stay. Or, okay, you guys are right. It's too much of a risk. Like, I don't think they want to defeat you. I just think they're afraid. They have fears and anxieties that you don't have. And because you're not responding to it, it gets to them even more. And you're just like, That's your cross to bear, my friend. I have nothing to do with that. Not wanting, see, and with the Four of Swords in reverse underneath, definitely, you're not wanting to engage in any type of adversarial energy. Yeah, yes, thank you. It's a snake. I called it. It's a snake. Yeah, not you're dealing with a snake, but your pattern on the board is a snake. Anyway, Ace of Swords, your next card. So again, air sign energy. Definite truth and clarity in this situation, I think. Like I said, in tandem, these two, the king and the queen, they come together and they give you that Ace of Swords. They give you this new clarity. So again, I feel like you're leaving a situation that not necessarily was bad for you in your hometown, your family, your friends, whatever, previous jobs, previous ways of living. Maybe you're changing your lifestyle. Maybe, pardon me, to some extent, you're coming from a quote unquote privileged lifestyle, right? And maybe you're saying for the next 4 years, I'm going to go live in the mountains or live in the wilderness of Argentina. I don't know why I'm so stuck on Argentina. By now, I would have like thrown in another country and like, you know, played the field, so to speak. But there's really like, they really like, I keep seeing that on a map. I keep seeing that country, that very long, right, country down in South America. Not the skinny one, that's Chile, of course. But so someone here has a tie to Argentina for some reason. But anyway, these two come together. Oh, right, the privilege thing. That's how it was going. So some of you might be coming from a very comfortable, if not privileged, a very comfortable lifestyle, right? And you're going off the grid, living in the wilderness, living in nature, living in, you know, local villages of Argentina or small towns or small whatever. Just a world apart, a totally different world from anything you understand or know. And you are relishing in that. That's okay. Thank you. Take the travel out of it. If you're not going anywhere, if you're staying in Des Moines, if you're staying in New York City, if you're staying in Michigan, whatever. Something about, now they're playing Whole New World from Aladdin, right? That's what you're after, Aquarius. A whole new world. Now, okay. Now my heart chakra is a little tingled. Is a little like I can really feel that. So for some of you, this is about a new relationship. I'm not sensing in any of these 4 cards that you are with anyone. You might be, but I'm not sensing it. They like remind me. It's like, yeah, no, but remember all that stuff you said about returning? Okay. So some of you have a hit back. Okay, what I call a hit back. You can translate that in any kind of way. You have a long on again, off again partnership. You got a baby mama, baby daddy situation. You have someone you can't get over. They're not over you, and you always come a toxic ex. Whatever, for whatever type we're talking about. You are not interested in that anymore. Okay, I always come back to you, you always come back to me, we always find our way back to each other, or we're connected because of the kids, or we're connected because the sex is amazing, or we're connected because we fell in love when we were 16 and we just can't stay away from each other, blah, 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 blah. Like that time, that novelty, that pull is dead. Damn, is dead. Sword, Ace of Truth. Is dead. Wow. That's not going to resonate for everybody. If you're happily married and all that good stuff, don't take it this way. But for those where you know you have had a hit back or a revolving door situation in your love life, in your sex life, whatever we're talking about, in your it's complicated life, whatever. Many of you are drawing a line in the sand with that. That's done. Yes. Because this is all, there's no one else. As much as I've talked about other people here, look at these cards. There's no one else on any of them. Even over here, we haven't even gotten over there, but solo figures. No one else factors. You were doing this because of you. You were doing this for yourself. So, where this person can't believe you mean it, this is the last time. No, I mean it. This is the last time. Oh, well, you know, baby, you and me, we got a connection. Maybe we do. Maybe we have kids. Maybe we have history. We all have history, right? With our exes or previous partners, right? We all have history, but that history does not predict our future. Does not say that we're going to be together. It doesn't. Well, we always come back to each other. Think so? This is the last time, says Aquarius. This is the last time, buddy. I'm done. I don't want this anymore. And they don't believe you. They do not believe you. This and this together, queen and king together, brandishing that sword. I mean it. I mean it. Especially if you're moving away. You'll be circling the streets of Des Moines for the next 5 years. You won't find me. Why? Where are you going? Bitch, I'm moving to Argentina, or I'm moving wherever. I'm getting out of here. Not to escape you. Don't flatter yourself. It's not to escape you. It's not to avoid you because I just can't help myself. No, Aquarius, for a potential cross-watcher. Aquarius might feel something for you. Aquarius might have tender feelings for you. And Aquarius will have fond memories of you. But this resolution that I feel coming from them is basically saying, I love you, but I don't need you. Ooh. I love you, but I don't need you. Damn. Boy. Yeah. And that's why this is dead. Because Aquarius will not be around anyone or anything that they don't need. Someone is realizing their value in a situation. This is specifically for romance, by the way. You might be able to put this in family and friends if you can, but don't force it if it doesn't sound right. Someone is realizing their value. When you become a king or a queen, you know your value. There's no question of what you are worth. And when you realize what you're worth as compared to what other people have been treating you as, you will not settle for less. So if somebody is doing this revolving door situation, if someone is doing this situation of, well, we're always going to be together and you're always going to be tied to me and blah, 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 you know, like really trying to like lord that shit over you. Like, well, of course we're going to be together. We have a kid. No offense to anybody. That's a bullshit excuse. I don't believe in that. I'm not a parent, so don't take all that advice from me. But I'm from a relationship where for a minute they tried to make it work for the kids. And my memory of that as the child, I was just like, y'all should have just not been together. As the child experience, just to give you a sidebar for me, as the child experiencing it, it wasn't pleasant, and I wish they would have been together. But that's unfortunately the naive perspective of a child. As an adult, years removed, oh, y'all were terrible together. And if you had been separate, maybe you could have gotten to your healing points a lot quicker, right? That's just my philosophy. You do not have to believe what I have said or agree with it, but that's kind of what this feels like. I feel like someone is using the tie of children as like the reason we need to be together or the reason we're always going to be together. And it's just like, is that necessarily true? Is that necessarily what has to happen? Debatable. At the very least, it's debatable. Aquarius, I feel, is coming from the point of, not really the truth. Not really true. Because being with you and being how we are when we interact, that's not helpful. That's not healthy to me. At some previous point, Aquarius has felt like, I don't know who I am, or I don't know what I'm doing. You know, all that trials and tribulation. I'm not going to dive into that. But there's a hefty weight in the previous past point. Now that we have this present and future point, it feels lighter, it feels expanded, it feels bigger, it feels elevated. That's what Aquarius wants. Whoever is just like, no, you're not going anywhere. They want to keep you in the past. Hell no. It's not going to happen. I'm breaking somebody's heart here with the cross watcher, or I'm knocking the wind right out of your sails, because Aquarius is not about that life. Kids, no kids, I don't care. Lovers, friends, I don't care. Aquarius is no longer about that life. Okay? Yeah, thank you. You guys are making me drink a lot of water today. And I had a significant break. I've had water since my last recording. That's weird. Okay, so your last card, the star card. So your own energy, Aquarius, this is your major arcana card, okay? So, what did I just say? Expansion. More. Not in a greedy way. This is not about greed. This is not about I need more than what I have. I need more as in something more fulfilling. I need more as in something different. I've tapped all my understanding and all the things I could ever gain from living in Des Moines. Again, no shade on Des Moines. I've never been. It's probably great. But someone is really like a big fish in a little pond kind of feeling. That's what this feels like. Big fish, little pond. Whether that be an actual physical location or just something, again, with the star card here, something more spiritual. Like that example I used about being in a very orthodox religion, but then getting into something that's a little bit more expansive, a little bit more not so boxed in, really having no limitations. Because spirituality means what to who? Spirituality means something to me that is different from you, different from him, different from her. We all have our own interpretations versus a more orthodox or structured religion, which basically says we all kind of think the same thing. When you get into spiritualism, some people have a foundation of religion that is a part of their spiritualism. Some people come in like me who have no spiritual or no religious background to speak of and don't really incorporate it that much. You see what I mean? So that's already two different ways that you can be spiritual. That is sort of the antithesis of what it means to be orthodox or devout. Yeah? Aquarius, you are no longer interested in what is orthodox or devout in your life, what is prescribed in your life, what is already experienced from the A to the Z. I'm ready to learn a different, that's what I said earlier with going abroad, studying a different language. I already am the master of English. It's my native language. I'm ready to learn Spanish. I'm ready to learn Portuguese. I'm ready to learn Arabic. I'm ready to learn ready. So the star card is here to show, number one, that you're already guided to that place. Like the star in the sky and how this female figure is contemplative on that star, gazing out upon it, gazing out upon the ridge, the mountain range and the grasslands, and even, as you can see there, way in the distance, a city skyline, right? Looking at the vast expanse in front of her and being guided to do it because of the star in the sky, as well as the bird on the tree branch there, okay? That bird, this card has come up a few times in the September readings, and that bird has been, for me, a spiritual guide of some type, either an actual animal or someone who has crossed over or whatever you believe your guides to be, whether that be archangels, whether that be Jesus Christ, I don't know. I think that might apply, the spirit guide element. I'm really more focused this time around on the star itself, which is a guiding light, which is the light that shines down in the darkest of night that shows you where to move on your path. You feel instinctually, intuitively guided to this point, or you're trusting your intuition to guide you forward. Again, you know, well, blah, blah, you know, whoever's worried about you moving to Argentina, all right, they're just like hitting you with all the facts and the figures of the crime in Argentina or the natural disasters and all the things you need to worry about. And I keep putting this in my left hand. Look, they're giving it to me. I traditionally, if you watch my videos, I primarily keep that crystal in my right hand. It rarely goes to my left and stays there. This is like the second or third time I've kept it there for a minute. You are changing. What you normally would do, hold the crystal in your right hand, animate with the right or the left hand, you know, do whatever I normally do with my hands. For a minute, I've been changing it, and I've been doing it the reverse way. So you're swapping. You're going on a completely different path, and some people can't handle it. They express their worry to you, giving you all the things you need to worry about on your new path, and you're just like, I'm cool. I already know I'm cool. There's a certain confidence with the star card that's not really about your ego. This is not an ego confidence. This is a heartfelt confidence. Heartfelt, is that right? I don't want to like overuse the word spiritual, but that's where, like a soulful spiritual, like you're at peace within yourself when you make this decision and you make these moves and you make these changes. And you cannot be dissuaded. You cannot be taken off of this path. It's already decided. That's the other thing with the star. Destiny, fate, it's already decided. Even before you knew that's what you were doing, that is what you were going to do. Some of you don't necessarily believe in that, but that's kind of what this is coming across, or that resonates for some in the audience. Like, before you decided to make these moves or to make these changes or to, you know, draw a line in the sand and move on from something, that was already written in your book of life. Some of you don't necessarily believe in that, but some of you do. And that's your confirmation. That's your affirmation. It was already written. So you've just gotten to that point of the story. Your reality just caught up to that page. Does that make sense? Outcome. King of Swords. So here we go. Because again, this card was a part of the fallout in the beginning of the shuffle. And again, I mentioned something about people coming back and all this other kind of stuff. Is this who... Is this Aquarius? I need to ask that. Is this Aquarius? Yes and no. Okay. So you share this with someone. I feel for many of you, this is the person who's left behind, or the people. It could be more than one person, but this is who you leave behind. Like, remember I said the kings don't really move because they've already worked themselves up to this station in their life? That's the same here. This king does not move. So this could be the person that you leave behind. Yeah? The friend, the lover, the concerned parent, whatever. And they're watchful. Wherever you go, I'll be watching you, right? The police. Every breath you take, da, 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 I'll be watching you, okay? Whether that's creepy, whether that's endearing, I don't know. But this person, to some degree, will never let you go. Because again, they're coming from that standpoint of we're always going to be connected. And that's hard to, that's hard to really combat, or that's hard to really, counter if they're your parent, or if they are the parent, if they are your parent, or they are the parent of your child. Yeah, it's hard to shake those types of relationships, yeah? And not that they need to be shaken. But this person, they are not willing. They're really not. I was just talking about this with, who was the last reading I did? Capricorn? Yeah, who comes before you? Capricorn, right. I was talking to them a lot about vibrations and being low vibe, high vibe, whatever. This person, I don't think that they're necessarily low vibe. I just think that they vibe differently than you do right now. Maybe for the foreseeable. I think that this person is very contented and happy to be where they are, whether that be home on the range in Des Moines or whatever, or living in the big city in New York City. I don't care. They're very comfortable where they are. They don't see a reason to rock the boat. And everything you're doing in your life for your own purpose, Aquarius, rocks the boat from their position. And it might affect them a little bit. Yeah? You're their kid. You're 38 years old. You're 25 years old. Damn it, you could be 17 years old. I don't know. And you're saying, I'm going to move out. I'm going to leave the city. I'm going to leave the state. I'm going to leave the country. That rocks their boat in a way that they don't want it to be rocked. If this is the situation with the parent, the co-parent, right? This is the baby mama or the baby daddy. I'm taking my kids and I'm going over here. You're doing what? You're taking my kids where? And that becomes a point of tension between the two of you. A tug of war almost, yeah? Especially with the co-parenting situation. With the parents, where you're the child and you're moving away, not necessarily a tug of war, but certainly there is friction. This person does not appreciate fiction. They might not appreciate fiction. Take that to the bank. They might not appreciate it. They might not be very literary, and that's okay. Not everybody is. But they don't appreciate friction. They don't like this rubbing, it's uneasy for them. It's uncomfortable, especially with the King of Swords, because his way of combating friction and combating things that are standing in his way is to talk at it, I was going to say talk it through. I was going to say to have discourse. No, talk at it. Projecting their understanding of the situation, their understanding of the details, and making that sort of be the end-all be-all of the conversation. So this person has their mind made up about what is going to happen when you do this, and they're trying to warn you, scare you, basically, into not doing what you choose to do. because that disrupts their life. That brings in a certain amount of factors or variables that they don't want to deal with. If you move to a certain different place, you move to a different time zone. Now, in order to call you, if they call you at 7 o'clock their time, it's 2 a.m. your time. And that like fucks up their whole day. Or that makes them have to think of their day differently. Well, I'm so used to calling you at 7 o'clock, but now with the time changes, honey. Oh, and they'll laugh and they'll be like kind of, but it really upsets them. The fact that they have to now think of when you're asleep. Like, oh, if I call at 7, they're like, it's the middle of the night. I can't call at 7. So then they have to like, no offense. And I don't mean it to be like this base, but like now they have to do math. Like now they have to call you on their lunch break instead of when they're home resting or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It now becomes an inconvenience that they have to change their life in some type of way to deal with what you are choosing to do. They don't like that. Too bad, basically, because like I said, Aquarius has made up their mind. Now, if this is you, because I said is this Aquarius, and it was a yes and no. So if this is you, you're kind of doing the same thing, right back at them. You're not going to talk at them. I feel that Aquarius, you'd be more willing to talk with them, but you are certainly just as resolute. So if they do call you, your phone rings at 2 a.m., you pick up, you will tell them, Mom, Dad, baby mama, baby daddy, whoever, it's 2 a.m. You can't call me at this time. I'm asleep. And you will hang up. You will not get into the conversation. Because, you know, some people do that, by the way. Like, I'm getting, like, this really, like, if I'm honest, I'm getting, like, this really impervious and unaware person. Like, they just steamroll throughout all their social situations. So, it's one of those things. Ring, ring. Hello. Oh, honey, are you asleep? Yeah, it's 2 a.m. Oh, I'm so sorry to wake you. I'm so sorry about that. So listen, I went down to Betsy's house today and blah, 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 and just goes on in the conversation. We'll acknowledge that the conversation is at a bad time for the receiver of the call, Aquarius. And we'll say, oh, I'm sorry, but then continue on with their MO, with their intention, regardless of what you've said. So you will throw that back at them. So the first time they call, 2 a.m., you pick up, hello, and you endure the conversation. Come, 2:15, 2:30, you're like, I gotta go to bed. And, just remember the time difference. And you tell them, listen, this one time, cool. But in the future, you gotta be cognizant. You have to be conscious and aware of the difference in time here. Please don't call me. 2 days go by, they call you again. Oh, honey, I'm so used to calling you at 7 o'clock. I'm sorry. And then they try again. And you're like, Mom, Dad, baby daddy, whoever. I understand, but I told you. Click. And that's it. You throw it back at them. The inconsiderate feeling that this person gives out to you and to other people, you will throw it back. So, interesting. Oh man, you have so many characters, but I don't feel, and that's the thing, you have a lot of characters here, so there might be, like I said, like a family or friends situation, but they're all really boiling down between you and, like, it's weird. Anyway, as your overall Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you might be dealing with one of those signs, but you don't have to be. This is, overall, this is about the fruitfulness of your life. Whether that be actual fruitful in terms of loins, in terms of your children. Some of you might be going, I don't necessarily always see the Queen of Pentacles as a single mother archetype or figure, but it's kind of what I'm getting for some of you. So for some of you, that's the vibe, is I'm going to do this on my own, and for whatever reason, I don't know your life. I don't know if you have quote unquote validity or a right to do this or not, but it feels right to you. Whether that resonates or whether that puts the other side on their heels, or it makes the other side, the hair on the back of their neck stand up and, they get all riled up and angry. I don't know. But for the Aquarius who is becoming a single mom or a single parent, you could be a male and be the Queen of Pentacles. So you could go the single dad route. If that's what you're choosing to do, it feels right. Even if other people are pissed off about it. Because, thank you, that's why it feels right. Because the Queen of Pentacles is capable. Remember, I told you, someone is talking at you and they're trying to strike fear into your heart. They're like perpetuating all this fear and concern and anxiety onto you. But I feel you're capable. So if this is a matter of your mom just telling you, oh, you can't go at this as a single mom. You can't be a single dad out here. It's too much money. Da-da-da-da-da. All the costs will come down to you. And how will you have time? You can't raise these kids all by yourself. You better stay with him. You better stay with her. You know? This is you saying, I got it. Queen of Pentacles. I got it. Look at it. I mean, look at the silhouette. Business suit, right? Lady's business suit, right? Holding firmly to that pentacle. So the physical is already held down. The money, the home, the stability, the food on the table, the clothes on the back. I can do it. I'm capable. Don't question me, is how this feels. Don't question me. I got it. Now, for those where there's no children involved necessarily, or you're not necessarily going that route of, you know, trying to be, it still works the same way. You could have no kids, you could have 15 kids, I don't care. There's a capability with the Queen of Pentacles, and that's thematically what you want. For some Aquariuses, you've been in a subjective? Did I say that in your reading, or did I say it for somebody else's reading? I feel some of you have been like in the backseat of your own life. And this Queen of Pentacles, as with the King of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and even with the King of Swords, that shared energy you have, all of this is about, I drive my own damn car. I'm at the wheel of my own life. Ownness. Yes, I was talking about that with you. Ownness. Autonomy. In some, okay, thank you. There we go. In other cases, because now I'm like, my thumb is like rubbing over these two bunnies, yeah, which, you know, is fruit, what do you call that? Fertility. Thank you. That's the word. I was like, there's another F word. Fertility. Some of you might be pregnant now or will become pregnant soon. And I don't know your life, and I'm not passing judgment, but you may or may not know who the father is. And based on that, I don't know, I can't be sure, or I think it's him, but I don't know. Based on that uncertainty, you would rather go not knowing, which is a big thing to do. But someone might be deciding, you know what? It could be that guy, or it could be that guy, or it could be, you know, 2 or 3 men. I don't know. Or you know it's one guy, but you don't want to tell him. That could be also the situation. You may have definitely been only intimate with one person in your recent past, and now you come and now you're pregnant, but you don't want to tell him. And your parent, your mom, your dad, whoever, your friends are like, you better tell him. Why would you choose to be a single parent? Some of you are making that decision. Now that I am with child, do I open myself up to become a parent or a co-parent with that other person? Or do I raise this child all by myself? No judgment. I'm not Maury Povich out here. I don't know if that's good or bad, but someone is making that decision. And this is the rubbing my thumb over the bunnies, is that this is so fresh. This is new. Maybe even spring. You might be doing spring, okay? Next spring 2020, okay? For now, I think this is the decision you will make. It feels correct to you. Whether that's correct in the long run, I don't know. That's risky, you know what I mean? Because you never know what the potential of a person is unless you put them through the trial, right? Through the circumstance of becoming a father, right? I mean, like, you know, this is not a personal, so I'm not getting the true nuance of it, but this could be a situation where you're viewing the person who is the father of the child as not being capable. And so instead of informing him, you're making the decision for him, and you're erasing him from potentially being a part of the child's life. That's your choice. You may do that. But could you be sure that he will not perform and will not become quote unquote a good dad. Yeah. Anything else, because that's super specific. Capable, yeah. If this has nothing to do with children, this is again like having a ripeness within your own ability to sustain your own lifestyle. So again, whether you're coming from a place of access and privilege or comfortability and you're going to live off the grid, you'll succeed. You know, that's another stereotype that we get too, that people that are rich or that people that are spoiled or whatever we think or come from a place of privilege, you throw them into a situation of quote unquote poverty or not having as much, and then they'll fall to pieces. I feel some of you are, and that could be a big spiritual thing for many of you, coming from a place of privilege, of access, and then going into this place of having less. That awakens you. You'll grow from that. Yeah. I don't want to drag this on because that can go in so many different ways. All right, Aquarius, that is your reading for September. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Little thumbs up button looks like that. You can go ahead and hit that for me. You can leave comments on the video. Let me know how this resonated in your life. You can share this video across your social media platforms. And of course, you can subscribe. If you are not subscribed already, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. Aquarius, I'll be back very soon to do your quote unquote mid September readings. So you have that to look forward to. At the end of the month, I'll do October and so on and so forth till the end of time. You will also see me go live here next weekend with Virgo for their birthday season. It is a reading specifically for Virgos. Any Virgos that show up in the chat, they get the cards read. You can show up if you like. You can sit down, eat some popcorn and just eavesdrop on people's lives, or you can skip it completely. It's totally up to you. And anything else? I feel like there's always something else, but that's really it. So, all right, guys, I thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. Thank you. I'm repeating myself. Okay. Remember, just to give you a little tail end for those that are still here. Remember, this repeating character, they might repeat themselves. They might say the same things to you over and over and over again, trying to change your mind, and it's ineffective. It's not going to work. So if you're trying to persuade Aquarius and you keep saying the same old shit, you might as well forget it, because they're not gonna feed into that. Okay. Anyway, so thank you, Aquarius, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care, guys. Bye.